Earlier this evening, we see co-main event fighter Chris Petty making his way into the venue here at Ameristar. He will be taking on the always tough Kaylin Bourne in our co-main event this evening. But coming up next, it is a women's bantamweight bout as Rachel Kimbrough takes on Galen Webber.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring out our next bouts of the evening. Are you ready for some women, Kansas City? Rachel Kimbrough.
Coming to the cage, it is Rachel Kimbrough. Although she has not yet tasted victory in the world of mixed martial arts, she made a move to Joplin, Missouri solely to train. She found her calling down there, got a full camp that made a lot of footwork. She felt that that was her biggest weakness coming into this, is that she didn't have it. She says she's pretty good on the ground, but the fights never made it there. So now changing it up, completely moving herself and her camp, she says tonight she's ready.
Yeah, you know, one of the biggest things is learning how to use your striking to get the fight to the mat. You don't want to force a takedown. You want a takedown to come when it's there. You need to use your correct kickboxing to get you an easy takedown.
Let's bring out our opponent tonight, Galen Webber.
Coming to the cage, it is Galen Webber. She trains at Devastation MMA by way of Topeka, Kansas. Now she is making her mixed martial arts debut, but this camp has been all about working her ground game, knowing that Rachel Kimbrough liked that area. So as we go to our tail of the tape, Rachel Kimbrough, 29 years old, 5'6", 134 pounds, out of Olathe, Kansas, now moving to Joplin. Galen Webber, 28 years old, 5'7", 133 pounds, out of Topeka, Kansas. Galen Webber does have a distinct reach advantage here on Kimbrough.
You know, when we were, before as we were getting ready, I saw Galen Webber in the cage practicing a lot of front kicks, a lot of long strikes. I think she wants to keep her distance in this fight and keep Kimbrough on the outside so Kimbrough cannot get in for a takedown.
Galen Webber told me that she found combat sports as a way to get in shape, train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and said that now I'm ready to test my skills in the world of mixed martial arts.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, fighting out of the blue corner this evening. She stands 5 feet 6 inches tall. She weighs in at 134 pounds. Fighting out of Joplin, Missouri, Rachel Kimbrough. Her opponent tonight, fighting from across the cage out of the red corner this evening. She stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. She weighs in at 133 pounds. Fighting out of Topeka, Kansas, Galen Webber.
Now the thing that I find interesting here, Galen Webber actually used to work in the Ameristar Casino here and has dealt me poker several times.
So we know Galen Webber, and I'm excited about this fight. You know, the ladies' fights in Shamrock FC generally are the most entertaining of the night.
Absolutely. The ladies in the world of combat sports want to show that they're not just a pretty face, and they are here to take care of business. Quick touch of the gloves. Oh, Webber immediately comes out, but we're looking at Kimbrough here trying to tie up here, getting a heavy clinch position.
Yeah, right
nice
off the
knees
bat
there, though, coming out of Webber.
Right off the bat, Webber let Kimbrough get a little too close. Webber definitely wants to keep her distance in this one. This is where Kimbrough wants to fight. She wants to be in a clinch. She wants to try to get this fight to the mat.
A lot of head pressure coming out of Webber. Heavy knees in the corner here is Webber.
Yeah, both girls are trading knees out of this tie plum.
Nice takedown there, though, is Kimbrough.
Yeah, very nice outside trip, and she lands right in the mounted position. Not where Webber wanted to end up.
Kimbrough trying to work those right hands right to the temple. This is a bad position. She is riding a little bit high there, though.
I mean, Kimbrough's in a pretty solid position. She has the knees under the armpits of Webber, right where she needs to be. She needs to use her opposite hand to create a little space because Webber's trying to keep her head in the chest of Kimbrough to minimize the damage. If Kimbrough would use her forearm or her other hand to push down on the head of Webber, she could really land some damaging strikes.
But the other thing that Kimbrough is doing here is she's putting the head of Webber up against the cage, kind of grinding it against there, which is an incredibly uncomfortable position to be in.
Absolutely. I mean, people don't realize how uncomfortable it is to have your head pressed up against that cage in an MMA fight.
Mike England right on top of the action, telling Webber that she's got to do something to better her position here.
Yeah, Webber is trying to buck the hips, but unfortunately for her, Kimbrough is high up under the armpits of Webber. Her hips are not on her hips.
Down to 1 minute remaining here. That's a lot of time for Kimbrough to work in this position. Webber has got to do something to mount some sort of defense.
Absolutely. What Webber needs to do is she needs to turn to one side and try and shrimp back to half guard. Try and turn to one side, get her bottom knee under the leg of Kimbrough to get back to a half guard position. She's not going to be able to buck her off from this position.
30 seconds remaining here in the first round of this 3-round contest. Galen Webber in the red tape, Rachel Kimbrough in the blue. A bit of a hematoma now coming here on the head of Galen Webber.
Yeah, she's eaten a lot of right hands so far. Not a ton of power,
10
but a lot of right
seconds remaining. I believe Webber is going to survive here, but let's talk about the possibility of a 10-8 round staying in mount for over 3/4 of the fight.
Yeah, I mean, that was a dominant position. You know, Kimbrough landed a lot of strikes. Again, I don't think she landed a ton of overpowering strikes, but she did do a lot of damage, landing a lot of strikes. Certainly could be a 10-8 round. You know, I'm not a big fan of giving 10-8s in an MMA fight.
As we go to our TGS Instant Replay, here we see Kimbrough on top of the action, landing those big right hands to the temple. Webber has absolutely no place to go.
Exactly. What Webber needs to do is explode when she bucks those hips, turn to the side and shrimp. As she shrimps, she needs to push on that knee of Kimbrough and try and get her bottom leg out. It's got to be explosive because you leave yourself vulnerable when you do it.
Right. Even if you eat some shots, though, you have to pop your hips and move. It's got to happen.
It has to be, or you're going to eat shots the whole round like she did.
Round 2 in this 3-round contest. Galen Webber in the red tape, Kimbrough in the blue. Kimbrough again going back to that clinch that worked so well for her.
Yeah, Webber tried to be aggressive, but she closed the distance for Kimbrough.
Kimbrough trying to look for that inside trip.
Yeah, as long as Webber is in this tie clinch, even if she's landing knees.
Nice head and arm, but this time we see the reversal out of it.
Very nice job by Webber to power through and reverse position. Webber's going to want a knee slide to her right side to get her leg free and end up in the side control position.
Yeah, Kimbrough would almost be better to turn away here to her back, let that headlock go and try to work to half guard to eventually get back to full.
Yeah, this is an awkward position that Webber should be able to get out of relatively easy.
Get that arm loose. Use your other arm. Posture off.
Pushing down here, though. Kimbrough trying to make her way back to a better position. She's starting to eat a few hands.
Yeah, Kimbrough has a lockdown on the leg of Webber, but she needs to let go of that, just as she does.
Trying to make some space. Gets back to full guard, looking for the triangle.
She needs to pull down on the head. Actually, it looks like she's looking for an arm bar from the triangle position.
Big slam coming.
Kimbrough needs to get a hold of the head of Webber. She needs to pull the head down to finish this triangle.
She could also do good to slip that other leg across the
She
choke.
slipped her left leg over the head of Webber. She has an armbar position.
Put that arm through. Get that arm back through. There you go. Get that arm
Looks
back
like she
through
may
your
be
right
trying to
arm.
pull down here for that triangle position, but that's a tough one to get from where she's at.
She needs to grab with her right hand. She needs to grab the inside of her ankle, take the other leg off, and reposition.
1 minute remaining here in the second round of this 3-round women's bantamweight fight.
Posture up. Posture up. Hands on her face.
Now Webber is in a much safer position. She has both arms inside the legs of Kimbrough. She can posture up and try and rain down some punches.
Kimbrough again trying to make some space here.
Right back to the triangle position.
Throw it to the side.
Looking to lock it in.
She's got it sunk a lot better now.
Trying to sit up into that mounted triangle position, 30 seconds.
Kimbrough can sit and strike right now.
And there she goes with it. This is a terrible position, 15 seconds remaining. Mike England on top and calls it off. Beautiful fight there from Rachel Kimbrough, getting her first win in the world of MMA.
Yeah, and that was a good stoppage by referee Mike England because Webber was still on the ground for about 15, 20 seconds after he stopped the fight.
As we go to our Tgs Instant Replay here, we see the tie-up of Kimbrough with that mounted triangle position, works and then starts landing the big hammer fist.
Yeah, I mean, when you're stuck in a mounted triangle, that is a lose-lose position. There's nothing you can do defensively from that position.
As we see a huge smile here on the face of Rachel Kimbrough, tasting victory for the first time. That has got to feel good. This is one of those that we can say definitely moving training camps, things could work out much better for you. It gives a new perspective on life.
Absolutely. Sometimes what you're doing, if it just isn't working, you might need to make a change.
Let's send it up to the cage to Stephen Bayer for our final results.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has ended. 2 minutes and 46 seconds of round number 2. Your winner by TKO out of the blue corner, Rachel Kimbrough.
Rachel Kimbrough takes her first win here in the world of MMA. Great win, good technique there on the bottom to finally get that mounted triangle and a finish. A lot of action here in the women's fights, but we still have more coming. As up next, it's Asa Collard taking on George Luna, and we'll be right back here at Shamrock FC 294.